Hi everybody, so Green Hell on Xbox and PlayStation has been out for several days now, so I thought it was time for me to do my first impressions review. And I've been holding this off because normally I've got further into a game before I do a first impression review, and even though I have put several hours into Green Hell, I haven't actually got that far. So let's take a step backwards. What is Green Hell? Well, Green Hell is primarily a survival game set in the Amazon. It has two modes. It has a co-op survival mode or a single-player survival mode where you're in the jungle and you've just got to survive for as long as you can, building bases, building drying structures, finding food, crafting, all that sort of stuff. And then you have the story mode. And the story mode is based around the idea that you're in the Amazon with your wife. You're investigating something. You don't know quite what. She goes missing. Then the fun starts. And let's start off with the technical side of it. So how well does this run on my Xbox Series S? Pretty well, actually. It looks great. The resolution is pretty good. We're not talking 60 frames a second here. Definitely not talking 60 frames a second. It is a bit juddery when you spin around, so it's probably 30 frames a second. But generally in this game, you're moving around pretty slowly because you have to, because you don't want to step on the wrong thing. Because trust me, this game is out to kill you. It really is. It is incredibly difficult to survive. You've got to think about food, you've got to think about water, you've got to think about how you save the game. So you've got to build a structure that allows you to save the game. You've got to think about not stepping on snakes, not being bit by insects, not getting parasites from drinking dirty water, eating a mushroom and dying of poisoning, getting a worm that will dig its way underneath your skin. The list goes on and on and on. Now, in your arsenal to deal with these threats is your kind of the diary, the notepad you have. And as you discover things, this fills up with notes about how to build structures and how to craft and stuff like that. And it fills in the backstory as well. And you have a backpack that you carry around. And I tell you what, even though it is very, very difficult, Green Hell has drawn me in. It can feel very claustrophobic because you're in the jungle, but then you also have this sense of wonder as you get into a new area because the map is very, very big, and you're like, oh, right, let's have a look around. Let's find what is here. And I'm enjoying it immensely. If you're considering Green Hell and you're thinking, yeah, this looks like my cup of tea, and you've played a game like DayZ, for example, the survival in this is much harder than it is in DayZ. You don't have zombies attacking you, but there are villagers that might come and attack you, and obviously you've got the wild animals, the insects, and the diseases that can take you out in the Amazon. But yeah, I think if you enjoy the survival things, you enjoy the day-to-day of walking backwards and forwards with sticks to make a fire. You enjoy the day-to-day of crafting a simple structure to dry leaves. You enjoy hunting for dead animals so that you can harvest the bodies to have meat. All that stuff. If that appeals to you, then Green Hell is definitely worth investing in. It's very cheap. I think it was just over £20, so it doesn't break the bank to buy it, which is really nice for an older game. And it works well, and it's very atmospheric, and it kind of does what it says on the tin. However, again, I'll say it once more, I'm playing it on normal mode, and it is very, very difficult indeed. So there we go, Green Hell. If you fancy a really difficult survival game, check it out. I'm loving it so far. What do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.